Hello and welcome to part 2 of my Shashka review and some basic thoughts about cutting, especially tamashigiri or the cutting tests per se. So cutting and fencing are two different pair of shoes. You can have advantages with cutting practices. You practice accuracy and it's like when you go to a shooting range. There you can train, practice your accuracy with your gun or so, and this is quite the same for cutting with a saber. You practice minor movements under very different circumstances as in a sparring or in a fighting simulation, let's say it like this. Your stance is another, you have the time to think where you want to cut, how you want to cut, and your movement is different. So let's say you just want to cut. Usually for beginners you try to keep your angle in which you cut in one line. This is called the edge alignment. So basically you can let this one be one structure and you can move only with your upper body. Stand in front of your target and use one line. In a fighting scenario you probably will cut from a guard position and do a thing like a moulinette or defense cut or defense cut or again moulinette. So this is very different to cut than when you just want to chop things into pieces. This is something you have to keep in your mind. So cutting is not bad, it won't make you a better fencer per se, but you can practice the, let's say, micromanagement of your skills like wrist, edge alignment and so on. So cutting with this was a very nice experience after I resharpened the edge. For me, I haven't cut things for a year now and went pretty good so far. The only thing I noticed while I was sharpening the Shashka, the blade somehow becomes a bit wider and goes then towards the tip again. So I don't know if this is a production issue or I don't think this is a normal feature of the design of the Cossack saber. But otherwise, so what are my general thoughts here for the end? This comes for a quite hefty price. The details are nice and the overall optical impression is very nice, but you can't get antiques one for cheaper, for less money. The cold steel one is more expensive and you can good reproductions direct from the Caucasus region, like Kizlyar, I think they're called, or from a Turkish manufacturer, forgot the name, I put it in this description. They're good alternatives. So is this worth its price? Probably not. So there are some details that don't seem to allow this price to be that high. There are problems with the edge, there are some problems, not problems, things that aren't beautiful or okay for this price. So I love the design, but if you want to have a Shashka for cutting or for starting, there are better and probably cheaper alternatives. So for example, if you buy a Caucasian Shashka, the Cherkessian Shashka, it has a thinner blade and a wider blade, so cutting will be easier. The thinner the blade section here becomes, the thinner the blade overall will be, the more difficult good cuts are to do. So let me show you how the cutting worked. So it was quite okay. So, thank you for watching and stay tuned. Bye!